This is an issue that is important to every single one of us as Americans. This is not a partisan issue. It has to do with the integrity and the strength of our democratic republic. And it lays out this over 100 documents that you're referencing that I released, declassified and released, spells out in great detail exactly what happens when you have some of the most powerful people in our country directly leading at the helm, President Obama and his senior-most national security cabinet, James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, and Susan Rice, and others, essentially making a very intentional decision to create this manufactured, politicized piece of intelligence with the objective of subverting the will of the American people who in November of 2016 delivered a historic victory to President Trump, defeating Hillary Clinton. And President Obama and his team, their goal was to essentially not accept the decision of the American people and to use this manufactured, politicized intelligence as a means to enact what would become essentially a years-long coup against President Trump.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, my people? You're watching the MC Too Tall show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. And I'm drinking, of course, a large coffee, light and sweet, from Wild Bagels. Why don't you give them a call, have food delivered to your house if you're in the Gravesend or Bensonhurst sections of Brooklyn? Give them a call at 718-333-WILD, or stop in person at 1901 Stillwell Avenue, and they'll give you a cool cup of joe or a hot cup of joe like this, depending on if you want the hot coffee or the iced coffee. And it is oh so delicioso. Don't forget to check out their bagels, because boy oh boy, them Wild Bagels, they sure are wild. And I figured I'd present you the throwback here, displaying my government name, because I'm feeling rather nostalgic. Thinking back to the days when people like Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff were leading the charge to try to impeach Donald Trump on Russian collusion. I mean, they got him for the stupid phone call with the Ukrainian president, but they were never able to nail him on Russian collusion, because as the real documents verify, there was no Russian collusion. There were no Russians spying on or interfering with the 2016 presidential election. Not on behalf of Trump, at least, and certainly not with Donald Trump's knowledge. And not only did it not happen with Donald Trump's knowledge, it didn't even happen at all. There were no Russians involved with the 2016 presidential election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. As a matter of fact, the only foreign entity involved with this election was a British double agent by the name of Christopher Steele, who was being used as a tool on behalf of the Clinton campaign. And it was proven early on in the Trump administration that it was a hoax. But Obama kept pressing for it. When Donald Trump was president-elect at the end of 2016, Obama forged ahead to push this Steele dossier as part of an investigation against Donald Trump. This false document, this document that bears false witness against thy neighbor, thy president-elect, was pushed in as part of legit investigative material. And there was nothing questioning it. In fact, they knew it was a lie, but still used it to push the narrative. And they let it accidentally leak out to left-wing press. But meanwhile, all the documents that left-wing press pushed as real was recently pushed and proven as fake, according to the real documents regarding Russian collusion. The real documents regarding Russian collusion state there was no Russian collusion. There was no Russian collusion, and the Steele dossier was fake. And there was a push to put Donald Trump in jail. There was a push to put Donald Trump in jail. But of course, Saint Obama is probably not even going to be questioned. This man should be subpoenaed and sit before a congressional hearing. And fine men like Jim Jordan should be grilling that son of a bitch bastard. That ooga booga bone through the nose savage, Barack Obama. This man savagely attacked a duly elected president-elect and his leftover staff members in top law enforcement savagely went after a newly inaugurated President Trump, jailing a war hero, General Michael Flynn, and others that did not belong behind bars. Yet, if you fast forward, the evil general was pardoned by Joe Biden. That evil general, of course, is Mark Milley. There goes a guy that belongs behind bars. There's a guy who literally belongs in so many levels of hell. Along with Nancy Pelosi, along with Adam Schiff, along with Hillary Clinton, and Barack, the radical Hussein Obama. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something as I break this breaking news. Bill Maher, you're late to the party. Stephen A. Smith, you're late to the party. Mark Cuban, file behind Anna Kasparian because you too are late to the party. Who's not late to the party? Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat congresswoman, now head of intelligence. And she brought about this gem of a finding and exposed the Illuminati. This is why I always say, watch out for the Illuminati, folks. They're out there. They might not operate under the official name Illuminati, and that's why there's all kinds of fact checkers and things like that, because people insist that we're talking about Adam Weishaupt's small crew that he founded in May of 1776. The Illuminati has expanded to be a loose term for the conglomerate of secret societies that do exist, and there's documented evidence that these operations go about in secrecy without even the President of the United States' knowledge. And in some cases, like with Barack Obama, the President is in on it. It's all to undermine the continuing flow of how this government works as a constitutional republic. This wasn't even about going after Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a symbol of the republic, of fairness, of what it means to be a human being in the United States of America. So they have to go after him. Because the Obamas of the world, the Pelosi's of the world, the Clintons of the world, they want a one-world totalitarian socialist government with no guns, no God, no guns, no gold, just a bunch of worker ants. And if you don't play your part as a worker ant, hauling crumbs back to the monarchy, then you will be poisoned or crushed. That's Barack Obama's utopia. A utopia to please people like Barack Obama. For lack of a better term, I use the term people. For snakes in the grass, like Barack Obama. For ooga booga bone through the nose savages, like Barack Obama. And Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, I could go down the line, Chuck Schumer, Jerry Nadler, all these people who want to wage war, not just on Donald Trump, but what Donald Trump represents, the American people. The American people. Freedom in America. What sets the United States apart from everyone else? Freedom. Even other countries that have what are supposed democracies in place with parliamentary governments, they do not offer as much freedom as the United States of America. Look what's happening in England. Look what's happening in England. And if they weren't catering to the influx of illegal arrivals who turn out to be fanatics and drug addicts and murderers and people with coup on their mind, it would still not be as free as the United States of America, because you could have your House of Lords and your House of Commons work out bills, pass bills through those houses all the way up to the Prime Minister, which is essentially supposed to be like our president. He signs off on it. And if King Charles doesn't like it, he could scrap the whole damn thing, put the kibosh on it. And a really cool law that grants more freedom to the British people gets flushed down the toilet. So no, England is not as free as the United States of America. No part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain is as free as the United States of America. You could look at other countries, these supposed democratic socialist countries, and they are weak. Why did democracy in Athens falter? It was weak. Which is another thing that makes the United States a better country than anything else drawn up prior. Every human being that is a legal citizen here is free with the protection of a strong military. Athens used to have to outsource their protection from Sparta. And of course, Sparta didn't have a democratic society, they had a king. And by the way, if you look like Gerard Butler, and if you look like you're about to scream, "This is Sparta," and kick a Persian messenger off a cliff, then you, sir, did not earn your she, her pronouns. Get the hell away from the ladies' room door. That was my little side note. But this is big. What Tulsi Gabbard exposed about the deep state, about the Illuminati, about the conglomerate of secret societies, about the Obama administration operating in secretive to undermine the Trump administration is big. And there should be people hauled away in cuffs. I doubt Barack Obama will even be brought into trial or any sort of congressional hearing as much as he should. I doubt that will happen. But there should be somebody. Even if the evil side of politics, the evil left, even if the evil left want to take one of their own and throw them under the bus, give us that at least. They won't even give us that. They won't even take their own lowlives that they don't even like on their side of the fence and throw them under the bus. We want to see some form of sacrificial trial and imprisonment ritual of some sort. We need to see some sort of aesthetic, some sort of showmanship that pleases the people. We want to see something tangible. And if it is all a show, if it's all smoke and mirrors, at least give us the smoke and mirrors that we want to see. They won't even throw their own under the bus as they usually do. In this case, they won't. And all of a sudden, they're going to be loyalists to the lowliest people on their totem pole. All of a sudden. They're going to stand by this. You're going to have people on left-wing media like Rachel Maddow saying that the documents that exposed the fake documents as such are the fake documents. You're going to have people that are going to say, of course Tulsi Gabbard is going to say the Russian collusion thing is a hoax because she's a useful idiot to the Russians. Tulsi Gabbard is a brilliant young lady. She is not an idiot of any sort. And she's certainly of no use to any enemy nation. If anything, she's a hindrance to any enemy nation, including the enemy within. The enemy nation within this nation. The Obama nation. AKA the abomination. They're all snakes trying to undermine democracy. They're all snakes trying to undermine the constitutional republic that this is, and any shred of democracy that the forefathers allowed to exist in the Constitution. But make no mistake, this country is not a democracy. It was never meant to be a democracy. For the most part, fuck that word democracy. We are a constitutional republic. And as Vladimir Lenin once actually and factually said, democracy is indispensable from communism. And what political party derived its name from the word democracy? The Democrats, of course. And we see what the Democrats do. They are doing things to undermine the American government and have been doing so for years. They've been doing so for literally centuries. And that is criminal, folks. Hence, another reason why I say crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. So this is big news. We'll see how far it goes, thanks to our far-left fanatical media. But what happens and what becomes of all this remains to be seen. And on to the I say, respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, listen to my music, follow my ways, don't be creepy, don't be gross, follow and share this content, tell all your friends about me, stay strong, keep kicking that slang, hiss your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. Be safe out there.